Hi guys, it's Shannon, and as you can see there's been a hair colour change. So this is pretty close to what my natural hair colour usually looks like. As I said in either my last video or the video before, I've got to stop bleaching my hair for a while because of how it's affected my scalp. So I don't look like a pleb, I've decided to dye what was already bleached back to what is pretty much my natural hair colour. This is a bit darker, but obviously it's going to fade because it is dye. So it's going to fade, then once it's faded, it's probably, it's going to be pretty close to my natural. That way, while my hair is growing out, I'm going to try and grow it so it's at least like shoulder length. We'll see how that goes. Last time I tried that, I got annoyed with it and I just cut it off again. But we're going to give it a go. So today I'm doing a video that is probably on here. I haven't looked. Hang on, let me just see if it's on here. So on YouTube there's variations of this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a full face of the first makeup I ever went out and purchased. So this is like it's not old in any way, shape or form, and a lot of this stuff is actually brand new. So like from repurchases and stuff like this. So this is actually makeup I started using about 3 or 4 years ago, because before that I was using George makeup, as in Asda. I used to wear a cream foundation and then a powder foundation over the top of that. It was Cake City. And what I used to do is I used to wear one colour eyeshadow, just one colour, that was it, and nude lip gloss. And I hate lip gloss. I now hate lip gloss, and I obviously do more than one colour on my eyeballs. So this is actually the first makeup I ever brought with my sister. My sister is the one that introduced me to this sort of makeup and showed me the techniques that then got me onto YouTube and watching YouTube videos, and then I learned from there. So this video is going to be interesting. So the first thing my sister really genuinely did introduce me to was a Real Technique sponge. Because up until that point, in a compact cream foundation, the little sponge thing you get with them, I was using that to apply my foundation. Oh god. Oh, okay. And like there was one that came with the powder. I was using that to apply the powder as well. Oh, it was just Cake City. Right. So I didn't buy a primer. I didn't have a primer. There's so much stuff I have now that I use now that I didn't use when I first started out. There is literally 2, 4, 6, 8 products here, and now it takes like 10 for me to get my face ready. So the first foundation I ever brought was the Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid in, what shade are you? 02 Fair Beige. So me and my sister actually went into Superdrug, and she was like, do you want to try out some makeup? I was like, oh, not really, it's not really my thing, but as you can probably guess, I got into it more and more, so I'm just shaking it. She was like, come on, try this. And so we saw this one. I was like, okay, so let's swatch them, see which colour's mine. So we concluded this was my colour and my shade. So I got a bottle of this, and I used it, I tried it, I loved it. I went back and brought a second backup bottle, which actually isn't even open still. So, like I said, the only thing that I actually should probably not be using this. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so this was the first foundation me and my sister ever picked out. Which is broken, apparently. Okay. Oh, it's so thick. I forgot how thick this was. Are you running out? You can't be running out. Is it just because I was holding? Oh, there we go. It was spitting out at me. Oh, I should probably put my hair back. Oh, God. Oh, those sideburns. Okay. Oh, I'm not going to be able to get them away, am I? No. Okay, so the other thing the way I used to apply my foundation is I'd use this dry. This is not the same sponge. This is definitely not the same sponge. Foundation, I'm not sure if it's the one I originally brought, but this is not the same sponge. But yeah, I used to use this dry, so we'll see how this goes. So, as you can probably tell, my eyebrows are already done, and that is obviously from a product that I didn't use, but I top up my brows every couple of days, so, yeah. There's not a lot I can do about it. Oh my god, this is... Oh, actually, this is the other thing. I used to not use a colour corrector. And now I have to use one because otherwise it doesn't look right. Oh my god, it looks like such a mask. But in actuality, it does match my neck. So this is the thing, because I watch a lot of beauty gurus on YouTube. Okay, I did take it out. I watch a lot of beauty gurus on YouTube, and they like test the colour on their face, but if you have a lot of redness in your face like I do, you can't do that. You have to do it on your neck. And even though it looks like it's the wrong colour on my face, on my neck it matches it. That probably doesn't look like it matches in the camera, but in reality it really does look like it matches properly. The lighting might have changed just now because my iPad lit up with a notification. So as you can probably tell, I've changed my camera position again. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm doing this. Ooh. I'm just like wondering how pale I'm gonna look once I release my hair. Release the hair. I have a lot of hair, so I always say I have to release it. But I'm just wondering how pale and pasty I'm gonna look. Oh my god. I just realised how many marks and stuff this is leaving because it's like dry and hard. Okay, so that is the foundation applied. I just need to brush my eyebrows. Okay, so the concealer I used to use was the Maybelline Makeup Eraser, but I used to use it in a different colour, which is why I initially got rid of this, because it was just the wrong shade for me. But now they've brought out the lighter shades, this works for me now. So you can imagine how weird I looked with foundation this pale. And then I think I had like the neutralizer or something like that. Oh, so this is still kind of yellow tone for me. And I would just use a makeup sponge. It feels so weird to not have the primer on. And I used to put some of that on my eyelids as a base. I didn't have a lid primer or anything, so that would go like, on my lids as well. Bah. No. Sorry about that. I was just digging out my first set of makeup brushes. So it was just a set of 8 brushes, and it was literally 4 face brushes and 4 eyeshadow brushes. They're the brushes I'm using today. Okay, so the powder that I used to use, the powder that I used to use, you guys will recognise because this is one of my ride or die powders. It's just the Poundland one. I used it even then. And I just used this like angled dome brush. I'm pretty sure this isn't what it's for, but this is what I used to use it for. As much as I love this foundation, without a colour corrector, you can still see how red my cheeks are. Well, at least I can. I don't know if you'll be able to see them through the camera. I haven't had hair this dark in 7 years. I've been dyeing my hair since I was 15, and the first colour I ever dyed it was bright red. So I was still in secondary school, I dyed my hair bright red. Didn't go down very well with my school, but and then after that I dyed it black, jet black. And then after that I started doing two tones, so I had red on top, brown on the bottom, and all that sort of stuff. And then obviously I went into the crazy ass colours with the, you know, blues and purples and pinks. Okay, so after my base was done, I didn't use contour, didn't have a bronzer, I had a highlighter and I had a blush. And the first highlighter I ever brought was the I Heart Makeup Goddess of Love highlighter, and I still love this highlighter. Honestly, I can't even remember. Actually, that's one thing I did have. I did have, where is it? Here it is. I had a fan brush for my highlighter. So we're just gonna go boop. God. Yeah, I forgot how pink this was. Just gonna turn that down a little bit. Okay, then I would take this brush and go into the blush. Now the blush was the I Heart Makeup Blushing Hearts. This one is the Iced Heart one. I used to just swirl them together. And again, I'm not that big of a fan on shimmery blushes anymore. That is so much shimmer. That is so much shimmer. Okay. And right, I did have an eyebrow product, and I used the MUA eyebrow pencil in brunette, because as I said, when I first started buying makeup I had darker hair. So and when I figured out this was like the right colour for me, I stockpiled it. So this is actually an unopened one of what I used to use. When I found something I liked, I tend to stockpile it, but now I test out so much, I'm just like, oh, I love it all. Well, not all, but a lot of it I like. It really does depend on what it's for. Like I've been playing with that. I've been playing with the Zoella set a lot. Just figuring out what kind of stuff I like with it. And I tell you, it stands up. I really like it. Like I said, the highlighter, although it's subtle, is beautiful. The blush, again, subtle but beautiful. Go away, palette. Oh, that's the only other difference, by the way. I didn't have this. I used to put the foundation on the back of my hand, but I'm not doing that. Now I hate being covered in makeup, like foundation and stuff on my hands. which is why I always have wipes handy. Right, so what I used to do with this pencil is there actually is supposed to be a spoolie on the end of it, but at one point I was keeping them in a little tub in a drawer and they were too long, so I snapped the spoolies off the end. So I'm just going to use my regular spoolie brush, but I'm going to apply it the way I would have then. And I would literally just done this. For some reason my phone just stopped recording. But let's just carry on with the brows. So I literally just used to pencil it in like this. And I always had much more difficulty doing my left brow, so not a lot changed there. Just because I'm right-handed, but because I have these issues with my joints, it's uncomfortable to sit like this. So it always turned out worse. And then I just take my spoolie and brush them through. God, they are brows. Oh my god. Yeah, that would usually happen and all. Back in the day, I would have just like wiped it and started again, but now I know how to fix it. Okay, so the second to last thing, this is the hello. Oh, it's the plastic. So this is the first eyeshadow palette I ever brought, and it's the Mermaids Forever eyeshadow palette from Revolution. This is the first one I ever brought because my favourite colour is blue, so can you understand why I love this palette? But with my sister showing me how to do it properly, this is literally basically an entire palette of shimmers, so I had so much trouble building up like a decent like base to put shimmers on, so I just have shimmers everywhere. Which, you know, fun. So I'd take one of my 4 eyeshadow brushes and I'd go in to one of the brown shades. Just put that in my crease. Actually, no, let's face it, I wouldn't actually even do that. I'd attempt it and mess it up. Sorry, things keep making weird noise here. So now that I've got a bit better with the whole applying eyeshadow thing, I might actually be able to make something wearable out of it. But the thing I have to do is I have to put blue on my eyes because that was my colour of choice. I can tell by the indentation on this blue colour. This one. You see the indentation on it? Probably not. Okay, so after that is when I'd start going in with the blues and the purples. Looking at this palette, blue and purple were the 2 favourite colours out here. Okay, so I'd take another brush and I'd go in with the purple. And just put the purple in my crease and make it look like I got punched in the eye. Actually, once me and my sister were playing with, because she got into makeup long before I did, we were playing with some of her makeup and we made it look like my sister had got a black eye, and we scared the bejesus out of my dad. Because my dad walked in and my sister's got like a black eye, and he was like, "Where happened to you? And Rose was like, oh, this person at school punched me. And he was like, right, I'm going down there. I'm having a conversation. I stopped recording again. My phone was about to die. Yeah, so he was like, oh, I'm going to go and talk to your teacher. I'm going to talk to your headmaster. And me and Rose were like, Rose is my sister, were like dying of laughter. And my dad was like, what's so funny? And we told him, and he was like, that was me. So after the purple, I'd go in with a dark blue and just put that in the crease as well. See, looking at this palette, it's not as good as I initially thought it was. Now that I have other palettes, this is like subpar. And I feel like Revolution has improved their formula anyway when it comes to their eyeshadows, because the rest of their palettes that I have are amazing. Can you tell that it's all shimmered in my eye? I feel like you can. In my last video, I used the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and I can report that that concealer is amazing. I loved it. It lasted really well, considering how quickly I know other concealers crease on me, just because of the way my eyes are, because I obviously don't get a lot of sleep. I have quite nasty bags under my eyes. It held up so well. I liked it so much. That's actually like one of my favourites now. Okay, so after the dark blue in the crease, I would go in with like this brush, and I'd go into the shimmeriest blue in the palette and do this. Literally. So obviously now I know that you don't do this. Well, you could, but there's easier ways of getting the payoff from a shimmer. And that is to use a setting spray. Back in the day, I didn't use setting sprays. I'm saying back in the day like it was so long ago. It was literally like 4 years ago. Although, 4 years ago to me was so long ago. Because 4 years ago I was still living with my mum. Didn't know what I was going to do. I was in a dead-end job, and now I'm self-employed. I work with people I love. Obviously, like, that job gave me some experience I needed, but I really didn't like it. But taking the job working for my auntie is the best thing I've ever done. And like, me moving down here is what encouraged my mum to move back down here, because all her family live here. And she moved to Essex because that's where my stepdad lives. And the only people he really contacts are his parents, but that's like once in a blue moon. And like, mum wanted to be closer to me and my sister, because I'd moved down and my sister was like contemplating it because she just did not like being in Essex anymore. So they all moved down. I'm gonna have to clean all these brushes after this video because they're all blue now. And then after that, what I'd do is I'd take a separate brush, I'd go into the lightest shade of the palette, which is this one here, and tone it all down, apparently. God. Just try and blend out these edges of it. God. It's not working. It's not working. But I didn't put anything under my eye, even though it's ended up under there because of fallout. But I never put anything under my eye. I never, this was the extent. I had bright blue eyelids. That was it. Bright blue eyelids with dark, too warm toned eyebrows. Blush and highlight, which was basically all highlight. And the last item I used to use was a mascara, but it's one I actually have because I keep buying it. It's just a Poundland mascara, but like, when I first started getting into makeup, I was on a budget, hence why it's all like Poundland powder, Poundland mascara, Revolution eyeshadow palette, and highlighter and blush and stuff is all from the drug. Well, actually, all my makeup's from the drugstore anyway. It's all from there anyway, just because it's what I can afford. I can't afford to be buying luxury items. Not even luxury, just like not drugstore. You know, I think the most expensive makeup I've ever bought is actually well, I didn't even buy it. It's probably the Colourpop set that Mad Mac got me. It's probably the most expensive makeup I own. And that's only because it was shipped from the States. God, I forgot how... quickly this was like, BAM! Mascara. I also forgot how much this smells. God! And I'd never intentionally get it on my bottom lash, but because like, I still do this now, to be fair. But I'd always get it on both sets of lashes. Just unintentionally, and I still do it now. God, I forgot how clumpy this mascara was. I ran out of storage. So many issues with the phone today. My phone is actually getting pretty hot because it's also on charge with a light attached to it. So the very last thing, I said the mascara was the last thing, I forgot about this. The very last thing is a liquid lipstick, and it's a PS Pro Kiss Proof Liquid Matte Lipstick from Primark in the shade Rouge in Danger, or Rogue in Danger 03 is the number. Just dunk my finger in it, why not? I'll sort that out in a minute. And I used to just put this on my lips. That is literally how I used to do my makeup when I first started getting into makeup. First take the hair down. God, I look pale. Okay, so look at that highlight though. Alright, so let me know in the comments down below what you think of this look. I have to say, I think I've outgrown it a little bit. I think I'm a bit better at makeup, and I think I do better looks now than I used to, although I am living for the blue eyeshadow. I miss wearing blue eyeshadow because I feel like blue eyeshadow makes my blue eyes pop. Except don't miss that fallout. So let me know what you think. Let me know any other video suggestions you have. Just write them in the comments for me. If you're enjoying me and my content, then click the subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll get notified every time I upload. Hit that thumbs up button so I know that you're enjoying videos like this and I can make more. Maybe I can try and get hold of the products I used to use before I used this lot. Probably unlikely because I'm pretty sure that as I don't sell those products anymore. Let me know if you would ever recreate this look. Oh, I think I'm funny. But yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a lovely week and I'll see you all through the screen. Bye guys!